What happened? What happened?
You recording me is bad. So I can record too.
What
By
happened?
keeping evidences, you have yours, I have mine.
Here she is getting excited that she got a DJ gig. She's gonna go perform and then get money, get her bag, sponsor trip, go back to our country and probably plan for the money. And she went there, and this is how she was met, and she was detained, and then she was deported. Traveling while being an African is one of the hardest things to do. And it's fair to say it's exhausting and frustrating and almost discouraging, even though we want to see the world just like anybody else, even though we're deserving of travel if we want to, we're deserving of going to places that we've always dreamed of. It's human nature to explore. It's human nature to go and get opportunities somewhere else. But when it comes to Africans and African passport holders, it's extremely hard. Even if you have all the documentations you need, all the information, every requirement is checklisted, it's still gonna be a struggle for us to travel just because our passports are considered weak, right? And I've shared my experience before on my channel, how horrible my experience has been traveling. But then again, it's something I think worth fighting for. We should push back. Discrimination is discrimination and it's horrible, right? I would hope we agree on that. I just came across a video of a DJ, a Nigerian DJ that traveled with her friend to the Philippines because she had a gig, an actual job to perform. You know, DJs travel around the world and play their music and they get paid and they go back to their country. It's not like they're becoming immigrants or they're refugees. They're working just like any other DJ in the world, European DJ, American DJ. They get gigs. They go perform and go back. So she got a gig, she got excited. Her trip was sponsored. She traveled with her friend to Philippines, excited for the job opportunity, but also I'm sure to see a new country. But what they faced is incredibly disheartening. Watch this clip, we'll come back and discuss.
What happened? What happened?
You recording me is bad. So I can record too.
What
By
happened?
keeping evidences, you have yours, I have mine. So let's do the searching.
It's just like the worst thing, like things are causing like I'm not going to refuse to. You got to work it.
As you saw in that clip, this men and women, she said at some point there were 30 of them, were filming them going through their bags, making them feel like they're criminals, taking out everything from their bags and even their private items, just laying it down like as if they are just busting a drug mule situation, but when it's not. They're just carrying the wrong passport according to these people. And the interrogation they faced, she said, she writes in her caption, her friend was also filming, but they snatched her phone. They took away her private item. That's hers. They have no right to take it, but they did. And it gets worse from this because they detained them, even though they had all the documentation that they needed. This is the caption that she wrote. She titled it, "My Manila Immigration Nightmare." She wrote, quote, "I was so excited about my gig in the Philippines. I had prepared thoroughly, spent a lot of money, made all the necessary arrangements, and was genuinely looking forward to the experience. I traveled with my best friend. Our flight departed Lagos at 3 p.m. on Friday and arrived in Qatar at 12:20 a.m. That leg took 7 hours and 20 minutes. After a long walk through the airport, we connected to our flight to Manila, scheduled for 1:30 a.m. Due to a bad weather, it was delayed by about an hour. We finally departed and spent 9 hours and 30 minutes in the air. We landed in Manila around 4 p.m. But everything changed the moment we got into immigration. We greeted the officers politely, but they were cold and unwelcoming. Still, we remained respectful and handed over our passports. They asked for our visa, which we presented, and then requested every supporting document, which we also provided. When asked if it was our first time in the Philippines, we said yes. They asked if we had cash. I told them I had $500 on me and my card as a backup. I explained we were being sponsored by CCMNL, the organizers of the event, and answered all their questions honestly. They took our photos and we assumed we were about to be let in. Instead, one of the officers asked us to follow him to the immigration supervisor's office. We were left there for 3 hours without a word. At one point, I was extremely pressed and asked to use the restroom. A male officer followed me like a criminal. I felt deeply uncomfortable. I am not a criminal, yet I was being treated like one. When I returned, my best friend was being interrogated. After about 20 minutes, it was my turn. They asked what I do for a living and I told them I am a DJ. They questioned who invited us and soon shifted focus to the organizers. They began asking personal questions like how our sponsor met her husband, who is Nigerian, and referenced records that showed she hadn't left the Philippines since 2019. I explained that she was already at the airport waiting for us and offered to call her so they could speak with her directly. She was willing to come forward, but they refused to speak to her or allow any contact. We were held from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Then they took our baggage tags and told us to follow them to customs. At least 30 officers surrounded us, some holding cameras. We were terrified. They scanned our bags while speaking in their local language and continued to film us. Then they brought in a large dog to sniff our luggage and our bodies. More officers gathered. They made us open our suitcase and went through everything, including our underwear, skincare, hair products, and even empty containers. They found nothing. They repeated the same process with my best friend and again found nothing. Some officers stopped recording, but others continued. There was also a mounted camera pointed at us the entire time. We tried to record for our own protection, but they told us it was not allowed. Still, we found a discreet way to capture parts of it. That's horrible. That sounds horrible. And the detention, the state that they kept them in, is just, watch it.
Can I go? I'm looking for somebody. Somebody there? Where is she? Hello?
Really horrible. I tried to put myself in her shoes and feel the way she must have felt, because here she is getting excited that she got a DJ gig, she's gonna go perform and then get money, get her bag, sponsor trip, go back to our country and probably plan for the money. And she went there and this is how she was met, and she was detained and then she was deported. Even if she had all her documents, even if the Nigerian government themselves, the embassy, got involved to tell them that it's okay, she can come through because she has everything, even though the sponsors were vouching for her, like, let her come in, perform, and go. Nope, it's not gonna happen because she's carrying a Nigerian passport. How much does that suck for us? It's just, honestly, it's disheartening that we don't get to experience this world the way others can. And I really think it's unfortunate and unfair. Anyways, fam, let me know down below what your thoughts are about this. I'm Wongel Zelalem. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.